Excellent. So we are Mortgage Mates. I'm really excited to be here today. As mentioned, we're from Australia. So Mortgage Mates is a innovative co-ownership platform that aims to enable every Australian to own their own home and ultimately shift the housing continuum and hopefully make ripple effects across the world at some point. So through Mortgage Mates, we jump on the share economy and match two individuals who have similar housing preferences to co-own a property together. We are often referred to as the Tinder of mortgages, and we turn strangers into mates.
Hi everyone, thanks Jess. So my name's Daisy, and along with Jess, we are the co-founders and brainchild of Mortgage Mates. We're driven by passion, people, ideas and housing. So coming from a background in community development, housing and homelessness, we have seen firsthand the impact that a lack of long-term affordable accommodation can have on individuals, and we've decided to do something radical about it.
So what is Mortgage Mate? So we are the connector. So our role is we've created a website that has that uses an algorithm to match two or more users to a home to buy a property together. So using a range of preferences such as where you'd like to buy, what sort of house you'd like to buy, how much you'd like to spend, we match people to one another. Further to this, we also have added an element in regards to motivation. So we make sure that people who are buying together are doing it under the same motivation, whether that's to invest together in a property, to live in the property together, or to potentially buy some land, subdivide and build.
So why are we doing Mortgage Mates? What's the actual problem? Well, did you know that Australia is more expensive to buy a home in than New York and Manhattan? Before COVID-19 even existed, Melbourne and Sydney were two of the most expensive cities in the world to buy, rent or live in. Because of this, over 6.5 million young people are currently priced out of the property market. We know that 92% of renters aspire to own their own home, but yet 49% feel they will never be able to achieve home ownership.
So what's the impact of this? So the impact of the housing crisis, currently those that are not able to own their own home are facing significant intergenerational wealth divides. They're likely to be severely impoverished at retirement if they aren't able to access the housing market. As many of you would be aware that not being able to own a home can really make you unstable with your finances later in life. And I guess that leads on to potential anxiety or mental health concerns if you are feeling that instability in your home ownership. So currently in Australia, about 45% of people aged 25 to 35 own a home, but that is rapidly declining. And of those people that do own a home, 65% of people buy as a couple, and majority of the rest, including those 65%, do have financial support from parents, leaving this big gap in the system of people that are potentially single and unable to rely on family support. And that's the area that we aim to address.
So as Jess has already touched on, we're jumping on the share economy. So how does Mortgage Mates work? Well, I won't ask whether you use these services now, but assuming you did before COVID-19 impacted us all, how many of you enjoyed staying in a stranger's house with Airbnb? How many of you would have used a car such as Uber, so got into a car with a stranger to get from one place to another? And who may have even lived with a stranger? So whether you've had a roommate or a housemate, how many of you have lived with somebody that you don't know? Well, then you're only one step away from buying with a mortgage mate.
So jumping on this share economy, as Daisy mentioned, we want to utilise co-ownership to enable two people to own a proportion of a property, and there are a number of clear advantages. Firstly, you can enter the property market significantly quicker, younger, and at a fraction of the cost. You only need to save half a deposit, you have larger borrowing power, and that borrowing power enables you to increase your buying options. So enabling you to buy in an area that you want to live in, whether that's due to social networks that you have, employment opportunities, or if you're buying an investment, to make sure it's a sounder investment opportunity. Additionally to that, obviously sharing of the property does reduce your upfront costs and the ongoing costs of maintaining the property. And a couple of potential opportunities, I guess, through co-ownership is that also you can increase your social connection if you do choose to live with someone. We know loneliness is increasing in this world, and that share economy is really breaking through that. And lastly, reduce carbon footprint. There's a significant amount of properties that are going to need to be built to house the growing population in Australia and across the world. So through sharing, we can reduce that footprint.
So how does Mortgage Mates work? Well, if you've ever used a dating app, it's pretty similar and pretty straightforward. All you need to do is upload your housing preference as part of your profile. Use the search facility to look for and search for mates with similar preferences to you. As Jess has already touched on, that may include motivators for why you want to buy, such as buying for an investment or to co-live with someone. And it can include areas such as the location you want to live in and the style of property that you would like to buy. Our unique algorithm then matches you with similar mates. So we will match you on the preferences that you've included, and then you can go through their profile and understand more about the person that you've matched with. What are their motivators? What are the connections that you share that might mean that you would be a good match to own with? We can then, through our third-party links, get you support to get your loans approved and draw up some co-ownership agreements to protect your assets moving forward. And then you get to own a home together.
So what's our business model under all this? So back to our business model. So we aim to have 10% of the market in Australia over the next few years, and that equates to approximately 300,000 users with a matching potential purchase rate of 10% annually. So from there, we want to, during those 5 years, also look to expand globally, and we've already tapped into a number of markets and started conversations. So under all of that, we have 3 clear revenue streams. Firstly, we want tailored advertising. Secondly, a subscription fee for a more premium model of the service. And lastly, brokerage and referral fees. So that might be for through mortgage providers, through banks, through real estate agents, etc. And based on these figures, we can see that there's an estimated potential revenue of 78 million annually to tap into.
So we've started work both on the product and the business model that Jess has just spoken about. So up to now, we have signed formal agreements with third parties that include builders, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, formalising a referral fee option for us following the purchase of a home. We have over 10 active daily users and are currently experiencing a 10% month-on-month growth. We're currently also working to secure those revenue streams. And as I talked about, we already have a number of providers working within that referral fee model. We will be looking at a subscription model later in the piece. So once we've have a number of users on the platform, we will be looking to enter that subscription to have the premium model that Jess has spoken about, and our advertising opportunities. So we are currently progressing this further, and if there's anybody out there that has a real estate or financial business that links into Mortgage Mates, we'd love to hear from you to add you to the site as part of our third parties. And in the next 3 months, we're going to be looking for seed investment. So what we would like to do is develop Mortgage Mates both as a brand and transition from the Australian market to a global success. We know that housing affordability is an issue across Europe, the USA, Canada, and many other countries. And we think Mortgage Mates can be a solution for a number of those platform areas.
So our roadmap. So we, in September of this year during COVID, we did announce, release our second iteration of the website, and that was based on a lot of feedback and that we had from users for the first iteration, and making sure that we're really responding to the need and making sure that it's a usable and friendly experience on the website. From there, we've been launching aggressive social media campaign, and we will continue to do that. We've seen an significant growth in users since launching that second iteration, and that continues to grow month on month, as Daisy mentioned. Some of our plans have been pushed back a little bit, so now we are looking at early 2021 to commence revenue and seek seed funding, as Daisy mentioned. By the middle of next year, this year now, we aim to create a mobile app version of the website, as we understand that is really a key part of the user experience, particularly in that share economy.
So within Australia, there are actually no other platforms doing what Mortgage Mates does. So whilst there are other players in the co-ownership space, no one is doing what we do. We're in addition to many of the other platforms that are out there, rather than a competition of the other players. So whilst everyone else really focuses on the real estate investment, we're focused on the people that buy that real estate.
So I guess since listening to this presentation, would you now consider buying or potentially investing with a stranger?
And if anyone would like to link into us and know more about Mortgage Mates, please reach out on the emails or the socials that were attached.
I would say yes to that latest question of you, Jess.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So you started in Australia. When are you going to expand this in different kind of areas of the world? Because yeah, you explained already that it's also there possible.
Yeah, it's unfortunately COVID, like many people, has thrown some spanners in the works. So we were supposed to be in the UK halfway through this the last year gone to attend some I can't remember what it's called, Daisy, but
international trade.
The International Trade Week.
Yeah,
so, so that was all virtual. So we are looking at, towards the end of this coming year to start really pushing that, and hopefully by then Australia will have opened our borders and make it a little bit easier for us.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you very much for your presentation, Daisy and Jess, and I hope to see you soon. So have a great evening or afternoon there.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
You too. See you later.
Thank you.